Dan.
Danny.
How you doing, boys?
Been better, that's for sure.
On top of the world, brother. On top of the world.
I could tell Sim was really happy and Ben was ecstatic today, wasn't he?
Mate, there's
Never
nothing,
seen him so happy.
Mate, there's nothing to be. Honestly, there's nothing to be happy about. It's pathetic.
I mean, it is pathetic, right? I think everything's just a mess right now. I think it's just, look, for me, I couldn't care less who the manager is. Like, I really couldn't care less. I think there's so many bigger problems at this football club than just the manager. And I get like well, I think you know this, Brian, and Sim. I never wanted Frank in the first place. I never wanted him to join this club. You were the one, Brian, calling me every day, trying to bloody persuade me why he was a good manager.
I was.
But yeah, I look, when he did come into the club, right, I expected him to do better than what he's done. But I'll also say, to be fair to Frank, I don't think he's had the fairest chance, considering like there's so many factors that people want to just ignore. And I think that when you look at our attack today, right, it was just, it's shambolic. Like Xavi Simons, right, today he's like one of these players at the moment, and I know he's young. I know he's coming to the league for the first season, because I've been saying it all season. But it's just like a completely different player today. Like from what we saw in the second half against Villa, like he's so Jekyll and Hyde type of performance, the way he performs. And I don't know whether that is because of his age, whether he just needs to kind of mature a bit. There's probably elements to like the team is not doing well as well at the moment. But when you look at that team, I have no confidence, whoever the manager is, right, that they're going to get something out of those forwards that we have right now. Also considering the fact that we have got a lot of injuries. I know Solanke's just come back, but we've got, when you looked at the bench today, we had 0 wingers. 0. No proper creative player on the bench. Not one. Like, how do we expect to even change a game? We don't even have one creative player on the bench.
Should you need your bench in this kind of game against West Ham?
What's that, sorry?
Should you need your bench against West Ham?
I think you need a bench in any Premier League match, Sim.
Exactly.
It's the Premier League, man. This is not.
We can't. Sorry, Danny. We were played off the park in that first half. That wasn't due to the bench.
Yeah, that was due to the play again, Sim. Right? There's an element of everything to it, but I've seen these players time and time again for years. This is not just under Frank. This is going back under Poch's days, even Poch's towards the end of his days, where players just weren't giving their effort. They weren't putting their all in, right? Yep. This is a fundamental problem, Sim, that's been going back nearly 7 years, right? And when you've got a team that is so used to losing in the last 2.5 years, the norm for this Tottenham squad is losing and the feeling of losing. So it's very hard to sustain a feeling of winning when you're not winning a lot, right? This is under 2 different managers with pretty much the same majority of players. And again, I know people don't want to hear it, but this is the first time in nearly 10 years where we haven't had Son and Kane to bail us out of anything, right? It's a big thing to transition from, right? It's a big thing. Look at Liverpool. Liverpool right now, they're not the same team they were last season, right? And if you look at the correlation between how Salah's not really played well this season and Van Dijk's not playing as well, and they don't have that kind of midfielder they had in previous seasons, right? It's clear to see why they're not performing at the levels they have been over the last few years, right? It's because their best players they're going through a transition period, and unfortunately, what Spurs have been doing, rather than going through a transition, we've kind of been going through a declining transition, like year in, year out, constantly. Mm-hmm. We're just getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. The squad is getting worse and worse and worse. And like, this is why, like, for me, I couldn't give a shit who the fucking manager is. I really couldn't care less.
Would you sack him?
Sim, I don't care if he gets sacked. I don't care if he stays.
You're the chairman. Do you sack him?
If I don't know, Sim, because where do we go? Where do we honestly? Are we really going to sit here and say Xabi Alonso or Xabi Hernandez or someone else of that ilk is going to come into this fucking disgrace of a football club right now, right? And take the realms and try and change the fortunes of this club when they sack a manager every 6 months?
Something has to change.
Yeah, but Alonso ain't coming here.
Forget Alonso. Something has to change,
Right,
Danny.
okay.
No, but you can see people saying bring him in at all costs.
Yeah,
bring him in.
This is the thing. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
Not
Like,
happen.
Sim,
It's not going to happen.
What I can't see right now is where we go if Frank is gone. That's why I don't care whether he's gone or not, because I'd be interested to see what the club do
where we go
if they sack him.
Well, no, I think the most important thing right now, which we haven't discussed, is we should all put a pick on what player comes out and says, I apologise, or we apologise, this isn't good enough, we're going to fix it, we grow from this.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? I'm going to be honest. I think this group of players that we have are a bunch of pussies. I think they're so weak-minded in professionalism, in terms of their stature, in terms of their physicality. They're just like a bunch of kids. They're a fucking bunch of babies is what
they practically are,
right?
though, Danny. The squad practically is.
They practically are, yeah.
They stepped up and they won the trophy last season.
No, forget last season. Our players that helped us win that trophy, Sim, were all of the players that are injured and gone from this club, right? They're not here.
What do you mean? They play in the
final? The players that
in the final.
Like, let's not get into a fucking debate about who scored what last season, right? Because we know who scored the goals last season.
Wait. You're attacking these players for being spineless, for being all these kind of things.
They are spineless.
I'm saying they stepped up to win a trophy last season, so they can do it. They can step up in big moments.
And Sim, who was the ones who actually made the players win last season in that Europa League final, right? It was the players, because Ange was the one telling them to go and play gung-ho football, and the players were fucking managing him.
Why can't they do it now?
The players are managing him, not the other way round.
So why can't they do it now?
Sit there and say we can't sit there and say that it's the manager's fault. If the manager Sim was the one telling the players to go and play that way, we would have lost to Frankfurt in the quarter-final last season.
That's not what he said, but anyway.
It is, because Van de Ven said it himself.
This isn't a debate about Ange. I'm talking about the players now. We're talking about you're calling out these players. Do we have better players than West Ham?
I think West Ham
Sim,
today
did Crystal Palace have better players than Macclesfield?
Yeah, exactly.
They lost on the day.
Yeah, exactly.
This isn't the Premier League, though, is it?
Sim, you're making yourself look more stupid by saying things like that.
What happens in the
Because
Premier League.
We're 15th in the league, Danny.
Do Manchester City have better players than Manchester United?
Yeah.
They just lost.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. That's such. It's a.
Where am I sitting in the table, Brian?
No, but I'm saying. What I'm saying to you, Sim. What I'm saying to you is just because. No, what I'm saying to you is just because one team has better players doesn't mean they're going to win.
Yeah.
Does it mean they should be 15th?
No, that's a completely different argument.
That's what I'm talking about.
But that's
let me ask you a question.
Yeah, it is.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, it is.
Do we have better players than Wolves? Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, right?
That's down to the manager.
Right. I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Today, our right winger, Odebert, who would you take, Odebert or Bowen as the right winger?
I'll take Bowen.
Who would you take as the striker, Muani or the guy who played today?
Probably Muani.
The guy who scored 0 goals, right? And the guy who's just come into the club who looked like...
Muani, who plays in the World Cup squad for France. Yeah.
Yeah, let's not have that... Let's not have that debate.
No, Danny, have you heard of Castellanos?
Let me say my point.
Have you heard of Castellanos before he signed?
Stop crying and let me say my point.
I'm telling you...
Can I say my point? Are you going to cry still?
Oh, for fuck's sake, get him off.
Let's not talk about international players, because nowadays anyone can be a fucking international player.
France,
the level of footballers are so shit.
For France,
right? Anyone can be an international player these days, right? For France, the guy obviously likes Muani.
Why?
He obviously likes it, but
why?
Who knows?
Because he's a good player.
It beats me. I don't know why he likes him. He can't do anything in front of goal.
Have you heard of Castellanos before he signed for West Ham?
No idea who he was.
Right, so you're now he's better than a guy who plays for France.
Okay. What about Somerville then? Right, Somerville.
Would you take
Somerville? Would you take Somerville over Tell? Yes, probably.
I think they're pretty even.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, today, this is what I'm saying, Sim. We're comparing West Ham's attack to ours, and we're having an argument about who's better than who. This is West Ham we're talking about, right? In previous seasons, we never would have this debate.
Why are you just talking about the attack? The rest of the team blows them away.
All right, can I just say one thing quickly? Right. We'll go back to... I said it before and I said it again. I'm looking at it now. Personal insults, you're all getting timed out. Footballing opinion, fine. Come for people that come on this show when you sit behind your screens giving it the big un. people getting personal and not debating the footballing opinion, you're getting timed out as of now. So let's start this.
Yeah,
no, I will do, because it's unacceptable. I've said it before, I'll say it again. They've got a divine right to come on here and get abusive with people, but don't show themselves on camera, and enough is enough.
Go on, anyway, Danny, what are you saying?
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, Sim, is that we've had these players, it's like a habit, right? It's like a bad habit. At the moment, Tottenham's bad habit is losing a lot and not performing at a level that is deemed acceptable for Tottenham, right? I don't care who the fuck the manager is. Those players should be giving 100% every time you walk out onto that pitch, and they're not, right? And and you can tell me, tell me a manager can change that, right? They might give him a new manager bounce, right? But I'm telling you, I will bet money. I'll make a bet with you if you really want to. If Thomas Frank is sacked, the new manager will get a tune out of them for a few games, and then we'll revert back to the norm, which is losing more often than not, or having bad performances like that today, right? Because these players, they have nothing to fight for. They don't want to fight for the club. They don't want to fight for the badge. There's no accountability for the players, right? Because do you know why, Sim? Because when those players play badly, who's going to take their positions? No one. Because the players that are usually picked are the ones who let's deem it as the slightly better players that we have in the squad, right? There's no one fighting for their position. So they're like, okay, then we play bad. We might turn up when we go a goal down. Let's just try a bit more. Let's have a bit more freedom, right? Again, it happened again today. As soon as we go 1-0 down, and the second half comes out, we start playing a little bit more freedom. And then, like you said, Sim, earlier on, as soon as we conceded a goal, they just stopped again. Why is that? That's a mentality problem.
That's a
right?
coaching problem.
That's not a coach.
It is a coaching problem.
This was also happening years gone by, Sim. It's been Conte said it himself. Nuno was saying it. They've all been saying. All the managers said it.
But who's still here from Conte?
But that's not what he's saying. It's the culture of this football club.
It's a culture, mate.
This has been a consistent running thing.
Yeah, this is deemed acceptable culture.
And what makes you think Frank is the right guy to instill a culture in this club?
I never said that he was.
So why are you saying you don't want him sacked? So why don't you want him sacked?
Sim, it's not that. I said I don't care who the manager is.
But Danny, we're talking about Frank. We're talking about Frank now.
I couldn't give a fuck if he's sacked or not.
Do you want him sacked though?
Sim, I don't care.
Why won't you say? I don't understand.
Because I don't care.
We have to have a manager, don't we? We have to decide who the manager is. So
I don't care who the manager is. I don't care. I don't care.
History keeps repeating itself.
Why don't you care?
History keeps repeating itself.
Why? Because it's the same shit that happens every year. It's the same. After Conte got sacked, I said I'd stopped caring about who the manager is because
you were going very hard on getting Ange out.
No, I wasn't. What are you talking about?
You were calling in every week saying Ange out.
No, I didn't, Sim. That's a lie.
Yes, you did.
Let's go. We'll get the videos up because I'm going to call you out in a fucking lie like you like to lie all the time. You love lying, Sim. You love lying, mate. You love lying. And I love proving you wrong because you get it wrong all the time.
You never do.
Yeah, I do. All the time, mate. All the time.
You never do.
Because you're delusional, Sim. See, you say things. When it just to try and suit your narrative, right? The thing is, I was one of the ones, Sim, who was saying I wanted Ange to stay this season. To give him a chance, because I thought he deserved a chance.
Okay, but here's the point. Okay, forget about
We discussed this last week on your fucking show.
Here's the point, Danny. We have to have
Stop lying.
Okay, we have to have a manager.
Yes.
We have to have a manager who's right for this football club. Yes.
Yeah.
What makes you think Frank could be that guy?
I don't think he is, Sim.
So why would you say you want him sacked?
Because to me, Sim, I see no plan regardless if he's sacked or not. Which is why I don't care.
Okay, but that's regardless of the point.
Right.
Should Frank be our manager?
I don't know and I don't care. Like
You just said you don't think he should be, but you don't think we should sack him. That makes no sense.
Sim, you're not listening, right?
I'm listening.
Couldn't care less who the fucking manager is at Tottenham Hotspur because whoever we bring in, it's not going to work. No manager is going to work at this football club until the board decide to show action and actually do what they say they want to do. And if they don't do that,
were you happy with Gallagher or not?
I was happy with Gallagher.
And
what
happened today? He didn't play well, did he? Or what happened?
It's his first game, Sim. Is that what you're going to base one player's Spurs career on, right? on what happened today on the pitch? Is that how we're going to do it now?
Game.
Spurs fans like yourself, Sim, Spurs fans like yourself are so reactionary, right? And you flip flop like this every 2 seconds. Right?
Wait. When have I ever flip-flopped?
You Ben flip-flop every 2 seconds. 1 minute, sack the manager, back the manager, sack the manager, back the manager. This is what you do. This is what you do.
What have I flip-flopped on?
Because Sim, wait until I'll tell you what. I'm gonna mark this stream today, right? I'll tell you what, right? I'm gonna mark this stream today, and I'm gonna wait and see what happens. Because if the manager gets sacked, I'm going to wait and see what you say, and you're going to be like, oh, we're going to back the manager, back this. And then as soon as it starts, nothing changes, because the fundamental problem is the culture and the fucking players that we have who are just dross, right? You're going to start turning on the manager again. That's what you're going to do. Guarantee it. Let me
just say so. We're with Danny where he's saying about, I am Frank out now. I will say I want him gone. And this is me of all people saying it. But what I'm getting with what Danny's saying as well, when he said it doesn't matter who comes in with the plan, you look at it, and I'm just going to use this window as an example. We sell Brennan Johnson immediately. Whether you think that was the right decision or not, to sell him, to pay us on the first day or not start, but whatever, you would have thought selling him, Spurs have a plan to bring in a right winger if they're getting rid of him. Then Kudus gets injured. And you'd have thought, right, there's an urgency to act. We've got a deficit there. And they don't. So right now, we've heard Spurs have had these meetings about Frank, and the board are split 50-50. How there is surely Charrington, who's a non-executive director, can be that vote to say, right, this is where it is, or whatever. But if Spurs do pull the trigger, and I believe they do need to pull the trigger, is there genuine a plan of who to come in? Have they had talks saying, right, if we do this, are
no
you?
Plan?
Because they need to do.
No, I agree
they need to do this, like when we sacked Ramos and brought in Redknapp, like when we sacked wrongly Pochettino and brought in Mourinho. That was done. Can you say?
I have no love for this board. I have no love for this board.
I'll do this for you, right? If they sack Frank and bring in Redknapp, I'm all for it. Give me Harry Redknapp. I'd take Harry Redknapp to the end of the season.
Mate,
he said he'll do it for free. He said he'll do it for free, didn't he? He said any team that wants me, I'll do it for free. So if that's true, mate, I'd take Harry Redknapp all day long.
Mate, I think he's approaching 80 years old, mate. He'll be travelling for. Let him have his time with Sandra.
Do you know what, Brian? Do you know what? As horrible as it is, I think Spurs could cause him some serious health problems if he comes back to this club.
He needed heart surgery when he was with us last time.
I know he did.
You want to do that to him?
That's true. Yeah, I don't want to send him over the edge. Mate, I tell you what.
Go bring Martin Yol back. The biggest F you tweet it. Go bring my man Martin Yol back.
Yeah, I'll take any one of those managers back right now. Look, like in all seriousness, I'd never thought Frank was going to be the guy to take this club forward. I thought he'd be the guy to stabilise the club, but unfortunately, it's not just that he's not doing as good as he can do. I think that unfortunately we've actually have got a worse off squad right now. Considering the amount of injuries we've had this season, the players we've got available, it's just nothing is going his way, and I think. I hear what you guys are saying about sacking him, and look, fair enough. If he gets sacked, fine, so be it. But to me, I've got no faith in this club of what's next. That's why I said, look, Ryan Mason in, bring him in. I said it last week on your show, and I've been saying it for the last few weeks. I couldn't care less. I really couldn't care less because I feel sorry for whichever manager comes into this football club and has to try and manage this absolute shit show that we are, because. Yes, it's a sad state of affairs. I mean, again, the performance today, like it's exactly what I've seen over the last like 4 or 5 years in different ways and under different managers. It's the same thing. Like, and we've had different squads as well. Like the players don't want to play. The players moan about the manager. They moan about the training. Then the manager gets sacked. Then they come in. There's a little bit of a bounce, and the same thing happens again. Then they buy loads of players, or they get rid of a few players. The same thing happens again. It's just the same over and over and over and over, regurgitated bullshit. And that doesn't change until the board finally decide to change or sell up. That's it. So they've got to do one of two things, right? Because they've only got two options. Well, it's either they're going to sell up, they're going to keep just doing the same thing that Levy did and how he ran the club for 25 years, or they're actually going to do what they've been saying, what Vinay said in his bloody statement today, and actually try and back the club. But look, I don't know where we go from here, to be honest. Like, who cares if Frank goes or not? I think most fans would probably want to see him. Most fans want him gone. So be it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because, yeah, like if they sack him tonight, what do you think happens to him? But today, if they sack him tonight or tomorrow morning, who do you think they bring in? Do you think it will be Heitinga temporarily?
Probably.
This is where we go. We go from an actual Premier League manager to someone who is just not even a manager. That's the state of our club right now. If that happens.
Danny, good to chat to you, bro. Always
Danny, brother, I'll call you when I'm home. Which will probably be about 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, enjoy the show, boys.
Speak to you soon, bro. Speak to you soon.